In this fantastic B2B breakout, we're going to be talking about how do you scale a B2B brand? What does growth look like? How do you achieve growth? And I am really excited to be joined by three of our incredible BigCommerce customers. I will have them introduce themselves. Korrie, do you want to kick us off? Please introduce yourself.
I am Korrie Wilhelm. I am with a company called Movora. We're a global leader in veterinary medtech. So we sell prosthetic joints and implants in the animal health space.
My name is Wilt Kishimoto. I'm the director of e-commerce marketing and customer experience at Primeline Products, and we are in the door and window replacement hardware space. And I've been there for about 2 years.
Thank you, Wilt. And Joe, all the way from New Zealand.
My name's Joe. Nice to be here with all of you. It's a real pleasure. I'm here from New Zealand, like Lance said. It's about a 20-hour trip to get here, so you have to excuse my croaky voice. I work for a brand called AS Color. I'm head of ecom for them. We were founded in New Zealand about 20 years ago with a vision to raise standard in blank apparel. So we are a blank wholesale apparel provider. Our biggest market is now the USA, which was true of about February, March. So that's amazing. We have six global warehouses across the world, 2 here in the US. And we run a B2B, D2C split. So we're about 97% B2B, 3% D2C, B2C, with 26 retail stores down in the Southern Hemisphere. So, that was probably a bit too much, but a little bit about the brand.
No, that was a great intro, Joe. Thank you. I, of course, know Primeline and Movora very well, but for the audience to kind of set the scene of your businesses and what they look like, B2B, B2C, what regions do you operate in? What sort of revenue do you operate online versus offline? Korrie, I don't know if you sort of want to kick us off.
Sure. We are primarily B2B. So our customers are the veterinarians who provide the services to companion animals, dogs and cats. It's a fun industry, and we are a global industry, and we have regional sites in EMEA and US and Canada, and we've just rolled out our new B2B solutions in all of those regions.
Awesome.
It's been great.
What about Primeline, Will?
Primeline, we just launched 2 months ago. So, and we have historically been a B2B company. We work with Home Depot and Lowe's and Ace and Menards and all of those hardware stores that I'm sure many are familiar with. And we pride ourselves as, one of the things we always talk about is, thousands of parts, including the one you need. And repair and replacement is big for us. So instead of replacing that window or that sliding door, maybe it's a roller, maybe it's a spring, maybe it's something like that. And so really, try to extend the life and the value of the products that are in your home or your office. You'll see a lot of our products in hotel rooms as well. You've touched our products. I guarantee you've touched our products. You've held it. All that. You just didn't know it. Our name's not on it. So, historically B2B, but we're really striving to create a B2B experience as well as a direct-to-consumer experience, which we've never had. And so here in these last 2 months, it's been it's a fantastic experience to connect with our consumers directly. And from the B2B side, the B2B customers that we thought were out there and that we thought would be intrigued by having this capability, they've started coming out in droves. And so, literally the first week we were live with the B2B site, we had probably one of the largest tech companies buy products from us. Like, our call center called us and said, hey, this company needs something and they need it tomorrow. So early in the morning, can we overnight it? And I was like, that sounds great. I use their products all the time. Let's do that. So, so it's been fantastic to connect with those customers, and that's something that BigCommerce really helped us with.
I love that. So this panel, we sort of want to talk about scale, how you achieve scale, but I think we have to sort of start and understand what scale for B2B even is. And I think, Will, you did a really nice job there. For you, it was some B2B automation, but also B2C, going direct to your consumers, because scale for B2B might mean share of wallet. It might mean new customer acquisitions. It might mean into new regions. So maybe, Joe, what does scale mean for AS Color that, is I think we're talking about, say, $420 million ANZ business today?
Yeah, so founded 20 years ago in New Zealand, like I said. Originally, we were just in New Zealand, very small, humble beginnings. We're still founder-owned and operated by today. So we grew into Australia after that. That was our next market. Then we went into the UK, then made a pretty brave decision to come into the US. And what I mean by brave is when you're in the business of selling blank apparel, and especially blank T-shirts, in the B2B space, coming into the land of the T-shirt, literally the country where the T-shirt was designed, was a bit of a risky move, but the business made that call. I should know this, but it was a while ago now, and we had a very slow start here. So I think to answer your question, Lance, like scale was definitely moving into those other markets, seeing what we could do in New Zealand first, taking that model, our kind of B2B, D2C split that we saw working in that market and scaling it out. About 6 or 7 years ago, maybe longer, we made the move off of a previous e-commerce platform onto BigCommerce, and the reason we did that was a strategic move to partner up with a platform provider who was more of a partner who could help us with the scale we wanted to achieve across multiple countries. So, now we've opened up a website in Europe as well. So we have 5 global websites all on BigCommerce, the 6 distribution centers across the globe, and out of those distribution centers, we're basically covering shipping into most countries globally. So we can pretty much reach B2B and D2C customers in any country, anywhere. And a lot of that is thanks to the power of BigCommerce and what that B2B suite of tools enabled us to do in all of those regions. So I think scale for us is reaching more customers across border, anywhere and everywhere. Being able to fulfill fast and just leverage the power of a great partner who can kind of hold our hand and take us on that journey.
I love that. And for anyone who has been to Austin, you might have been to South by Southwest. AS Color was actually the apparel sponsor for South by Southwest. So if you bought one of those T-shirts last year, that was an AS Color T-shirt, which I love. Korrie, I know as we were talking kind of about Movora and how you've grown, a lot of your growth has kind of been inorganic. Right. Through mergers and acquisitions, and that creates a lot of challenges. I was hoping you could kind of walk us through what some of those challenges are, because I'm sure folks in the audience will be facing some of the problems.
For us, it was really important to be able to standardize the experience across. So through doing several different M&As, we had a really big mixed basket of e-commerce platforms, from Magento to we were on BigCommerce as one of our legacy brands that I came from, Cloudfy, Pinnacle Car, etc. You name it, we probably had it out there. And in addition to that, different front ends to go with it. So for us, the journey has been about getting everything into a standard platform that we could then offer localization to our global community. We're able to do that now. And one of the biggest pain points was account management and transparency with the vets. Veterinarians have very crazy schedules from early morning to late night. They need to be able to do things on the fly, et cetera. And we did not have any one solution in our old tech stack that could provide that. And today we do, which has been great.
That's great. I know for you, Wilt, I think automation was kind of key. And you mentioned that earlier, struggling to take in just the orders themselves through a digital front door, if you will.
Yes. If you can imagine, I've been with Primeline for about 2 years. Prior to that, in order to take a B2B order from a smaller customer that was non-EDI, was an email or a fax or a phone call. And so we just couldn't scale that way. And so having BigCommerce as a solution for us really helped. But yeah, and again, we didn't really have a strong site in the past. And so I think someone earlier said the customer is a channel, right? And so how could we work with our customers and in a more direct way, and help fulfill their needs and solve their problems. And that was a big deal for us. So scaling for us meant being able to reach out and engage with all those potential customers.
Great. So we've kind of touched on what scale means and some of the challenges and issues that you have all had, right? For Joe, scaling internationally, B2B, B2C, taking a conglomerate of all of these acquisitions and building one experience for all the customers. You've all obviously chosen BigCommerce. That's why you're up on stage. I think we would love to hear what has been the biggest improvement. You know, what have you seen in terms of what the tech stack that you've chosen, the solutions that you implemented, and what they've delivered for either your internal businesses or externally for your customers? And maybe Joe, I'll kind of start with you. And I know you've just actually gone through a kind of new, interesting implementation as well. You've been on BigCommerce for a while, so you keep innovating on your site.
Yeah, we're talking about B2B editions here? Yes. So we're late to the party on B2B editions, but we recently went live with it in New Zealand, in our New Zealand market about 3 or 4 weeks ago. In a more kind of a customized sense where we're just using the multi-login component of it. That was a pain point for our customers for years and years, where, you know, B2B customers who might share offices across country with multiple people needing to log into their account were kicking each other off, losing orders. So we took a long time to get to this point, probably with multiple kind of angry customers along the way. But it's amazing to be with a partner who can offer something like that, who can solve a problem like multi-login. So we'll go from there and kind of, you know, we're aware of the other things that B2B editions can do. We've kind of started with multi-login and we can scale up from there. But that's been awesome. And I think, NZ time, which, what are we to Tuesday, Wednesday, New Zealand. So we're pushing that out globally to all sites. So that'll come into the US, AU, UK, and EU. So all customers will have access to multi-login. So that's been great. That's been great.
Awesome. And then, Korrie, maybe for you, a kind of broader tech stack. You've also, I know, implemented a PIM and search. How has that all come together to build a better customer experience and helped you manage the site too?
It's been amazing. And, you know, I didn't know what I didn't know until I started, you know, the search, and I started to look at how our customers were using e-commerce in the very broken, fragmented way that it was before. And I knew that we really enjoyed BigCommerce from the CMS side of things and being able to utilize it. So I knew that was definitely the journey that we wanted to go down. I had just learned about B2B through our technology partner. So I set out based on, you know, BigCommerce's great recommendations for partners. But I would say that our technology partner was the one, 5874, by the way. They were the ones that introduced us to the need for a PIM just because they did that from hearing our pain points. The fact that we were managing, you know, almost 30,000 SKUs on a spreadsheet. I know earmuffs is scary. That we were doing that and that we had so many different platforms and different user experiences across those platforms. And the idea was just to standardize that, but also give control back to our customers because they were asking for it, and our sales team did not need to be putting orders into the system. We were a lot like you, Wilt, where we had orders coming in via fax, email, et cetera, and our sales team was spending 25% of their time actively selling, and the majority of it was order entry. And so I think for us, going down that journey of BigCommerce, having a really great partner that introduced us to the PIM, that has been instrumental to so many things. It's feeding our ERP, it's feeding our BigCommerce channels. It's easy to export and manage product out of that, et cetera, and then enhance search. So we've also added Search Spring, and that's really going to help me with, you know, I mentioned we did a lot of M&A. We also bought a lot of competing brands. So now bringing them together and putting purpose behind our portfolio, I can use Search Spring to really target the different customer types that we have. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. We could probably double click into that topic for a whole nother 30 minutes. So maybe that'll be next year. Okay. And Wilt, I know as we were talking in the run up to this session, that was important for you to, we talk about customer as the channel, but I think you said content is kind of king. You've got a lot of products, big catalogs. If you don't have the right content to display on a site, the customer doesn't really know what they're buying, especially as you're looking to go B2C. Was that a problem for you? How did you see it?
It was a problem. It's still a problem, but we see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, as a company, we're around 50 years old, and B2B, like I said, B2B historically. So 40 years ago, nobody was thinking about agentic anything or, Google anything. So a roller for your sliding patio door was created, 40 years ago, and it's still the same thing. So when I got to the company, 2 years ago, I thought, okay, so where are all the product specs? And are they, I hope they're not on an Excel spreadsheet, but if they are, can you show it to me? And everybody looked at me like I had 3 eyes. Like, what are you talking about? So we've had to go back, and we don't have 30,000 SKUs, but still 8,000 SKUs, and they're all tiny little variations. So, we're working at it, category by category. But, as we're looking ahead with Feedonomics, I think that's going to be really helpful for us, and especially because we also scale through different brands. And so one of my colleagues here from Arrow Fastener, if you ever bought a staple gun, it may be an Arrow fastener, right? So to be able to incorporate the different brands onto our site and with the product, with the content, it's a big deal for us. And I know in one of our pre-calls, Korrie was talking about that and just the advantages. I mean, we all know the advantages of having strong content and good product information. And like I said, light at the end of the tunnel. We're getting excited. So.
I like the openness and honesty, though, right? Because people who are watching the audience and then listening on playback will hear, oh, we've got the similar problems, but you can solve them, right? You find the right PIM, find the right e-commerce technology, and it can help you get to the light at the end of the tunnel where you have a customer experience that displays the right product on the site with the right imagery and the right tech spec attached. Who knew that would be important?
Yeah, I mean, with our previous platform, it'd been around for quite a while, and we couldn't expand. We just couldn't. They were great folks, but so we couldn't look at a Feedonomics. We ended up going with Search Spring. We couldn't look at a Search Spring. We couldn't. There were a lot of things we couldn't do. So in my mind, there were some other fires I needed to put out first, and then we started really hitting those parts.
And of course, all of this is about delivering better customer experience, right? We're talking mainly B2B here, where customer experience still does matter, but it's about efficiency, right? There might be some edges around there where experience matters and content matters, but we want to drive efficiency, and obviously customer loyalty. And Joe, I think at AS Color, you guys have done some really interesting things around your customer experience. You have apparel products that are in lots of sizes, lots of different colors. Folks need to know, one, when is this product available? When can I get it? If it's not available, when is it coming? And then make it really easy to order. I think the audience would be interested to hear, how have you built a great customer experience for kind of selling apparel at a wholesale, at large scale?
One of the things we did kind of late last year was we introduced a new bulk order grid on our product pages, which speaks to the question really, really nicely. So our top selling t-shirt comes in about 75 colors, and you go from 2XS to whatever it is, 5XL. So you have a lot of SKUs straight away. And for especially B2B customers who are looking to order large quantities across a style and multiple colors really, really quickly, we built this grid so you can basically open this thing up. You can key in quantities across your SKUs and variants really, really quickly. And then further to that, we built in a little ETA tool, which customers can click on to see the next 4 incoming shipments. So we might show 50,000 in a large black T-shirt, and then you can see the next 4 deliveries and what those quantities are going to be. So it provided our customers, especially our B2B customers, because a D2C customer doesn't really care about 50,000 black T-shirts, but it provided them with some really great visibility of, okay, I can get the stock now, and I can fulfill a merch run for an artist, and I know on this date we're getting X amount more. So it allowed people to, like you say, have the visibility and the clarity of what we've got, check out really fast, add to cart really fast, get to checkout really fast, and basically transact. So that was cool. That was cool working on that.
Yeah, I highly recommend folks go and check it out. ascolor.com. It's a fantastic way to interact with the product and to be able to purchase at scale quickly. Sticking with you, Joe, when we talk about scale, one of the areas that we mentioned right at the beginning is customer loyalty and expanding share of wallet. You at ASCal, you've done some. I think when people think of loyalty, they think B2C. They don't necessarily think B2B, but it is applicable. And so I think it'd be great for you to kind of share what ASColor has done to drive loyalty amongst your B2B customers and the success that drives.
Sure. And I'll just say, just in case people do want to check out the site, we're Color with a U, because we were founded in New Zealand, so we're like.
Thanks you for the clarification. Yeah.
So we
spelled correctly for the Americans in North.
Yeah. So yeah, customer loyalty for B2B customers is something we worked on last year as well. We basically did a lot of rebuilding of different B2B tools on the site, and this is something we wanted to do. And basically, when you start as a B2B customer with ASColor, you get put onto what I'd say is our kind of entry-level pricing tier. So you log in as that custom group, you're going to see a certain price, a certain wholesale or trade price for a t-shirt or a sweat or a pant or a hat. We built in a customer loyalty dashboard into the customer's account page, which allowed B2B customers to see, okay, this is what I'm on, this is what my pricing is, this is what I need to spend this financial year to move on to the next one, and when I move on to the next one, this is what my pricing is going to get to. So, and that's all the way through about 7 different B2B customer groups. So you can see full transparency what we offer for our different B2B customers depending on how much you're ordering. And further to that, we then open the doors to have conversations around, okay, you're just starting out, you need some good kit, you want to work with us, that's amazing. Let's bypass a couple of those pricing tiers and put you on this one. And again, we give you clarity of that, and customers can track that through. It's almost like it's kind of like an AirPoints, it's like a frequent flyer program or something. You can track your spend and track where you're going. So we've just done that for B2B. We don't even do it for D2C. So we're really looking after our B2B customers in that way.
And I remember you saying there are some customers now that as it gets to the end of that period will then start making purchases because they want to get it in to get to that next tier before the count resets.
It's a great tool for the sales team to call out customers and basically go, hey, you've got a month left. Do you want to move to this plan? Do you want to stay on this one? Do you want to, So create some fun conversations for them, I think.
I love that. So we've got hopefully fixed our data problems, or at least we're heading to the light at the end of the tunnel. We're live. We've got live on a platform. Let's talk a little bit about results, because at the end of the day, often with B2B businesses, it can be difficult to just get buy-in from teams. So folks want to understand, what success did you actually see? What did success look like? How was that revenue growth? Was that improvements in operations? Was it fewer calls to success? Customer success? And maybe we'll start with you, Korrie, because I know you've seen some really great success on the site. What did success look like for Movora?
Success for Movora was just efficiency, a lot of efficiency gained in the release of this. So our first region launched in January, our second in April, and our third, which was our largest, where 70% of our global business is done, which is the United States, in June. And the efficiency gains have definitely been good, and we are seeing. I had to pinch myself on last Friday when I pulled my month-to-date numbers for August, because they were in the triple digits, and year-to-date
percentage growth.
Correct, year-over-year.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And year-to-date, we're in double digits in every single region, which has been great. My average order value has skyrocketed. And I think also, when you're going on this journey, making sure that your sales and customer service teams are aligned with the reason you're doing this, because this was also for them. I'm not building this to compete with them. I'm building this to give them back the time with their customers that they need. And that's where we're really starting to see a lot of those gains. And based even what Wilt said, we didn't have the means to do, these add-ons and to create loyalty programs, et cetera, before, because it was such a clunky mess. And now it's streamlined, it's scalable, and what's, next for us is the loyalty programs to just continue to see that growth stay consistent and constant. So yeah, that's where we've been so far. But yes, month to date, we were in the triple digits in the United States, which really made me question my math skills. But it was great.
That's amazing. Congrats. And well, I know you're early in the go live, but is there any kind of results that you've already seen? And you kind of mentioned very large customers ringing up in places.
Yeah, but it's not just those large customers that that showed up, but it's so many. We're selling right now to universities all over the country that those weren't customers before in any way. They may have been buying elsewhere, hotels, property managers, so many. Again, this was our hypothesis and based on our research, and so it's been great to see that come to fruition. So that's been great. And again, the efficiency gains and the ability to scale, that has been really successful. And one last thing, that this isn't quite revenue or customer base, but this project started a couple of years ago with our VP in an executive team meeting with the leadership. We're part of a organization called Great Star Tools USA. So they own us, Aero Fastener, ShopVac, SK Tools, many brands like that. And one of the challenges that was thrown out to our teams was how do we work together? How do we incorporate and how do we unify our teams in a way where all these different teams all over the U.S. Can mesh a little bit better? And one of the ideas was, let's create a unified website with our brands and have the teams work together. And that's something that's been fantastic, working with Travis's team back east and our team. We're all working off of each other. We all bring different experiences and different points of view. And so that was really one of the big things for us was how to do that. And, we have this unified cart where you can place an order off one of our products, tab over, go to Aero, put one of their products in the cart and check out altogether. And so many of our B2B customers are both customers of ours. So, that was just one part of why we came over, and what we would deem successful is that we could get that launched. But again, not just from a revenue standpoint, but a teamwork, camaraderie, organizational thing. I mean, it's been fantastic, and so we're all really happy about that.
Oh, that's awesome. I know, Joe, I picked on you a bit earlier answering a few questions, but I know as a business you've kind of seen 20% year-on-year growth continually, great expansion. What's next for AS Color?
Yeah, I think that number is that basically aligns with us moving on to BigCommerce. And since that move, we've seen about a 20% year-on-year growth globally. That is with America being the fastest climber of that. So it's been an awesome partnership. Sorry, what was the question?
It was what else? What's next? What is next for kind of a
right? So I want to hunt down Maggie and her team to talk about Feedonomics. That's something we're not doing at the moment. So how I describe AS Color is we do some stuff well, and it's gotten to us to a point, and we're total rookies in a whole bunch of other areas. Like we've just turned on B2B Edition and all the power that has, and I met Maggie and the Fido team last year, and I saw her again yesterday, and she's like, "Hey, how's that chat going?" So we can take a while with the stuff, and just being here and seeing the power that some of those tools can bring. I think that's probably what's next for us is looking into some of that stuff, trying to grow our D2C while also growing B2B, looking into kind of feeding into channels and all of those conversations that traditionally we haven't had as a business. And now looking at that move to commerce and that suite. We use Shogun Page Builder, looking at what Make Swift can do. So I think this event has sparked a lot of ideas, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we are actually at time. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on stage. That was an incredible journey of this problems that you as B2B, B2C businesses are facing, how do you go and approach and solve those, not just with a commerce solution, but across an entire stack, and then the fantastic results that you've already managed to deliver. So thank you so much for joining me on stage. This was a great discussion. Thank you, Korrie.
for the opportunity.